Welcome to Inside the Web, Student Life Unpacked, your go-to series for everything you need to know about student life at Gardner-Webb University. I'm Lesley Villarose, Dean of Students, and I'm excited to walk alongside you as we explore the many services, resources, and opportunities designed to help you thrive on campus.
And I'm Brian Arnold, Assistant Dean of Students, here to help you make the most of your GW experience. Whether you're just getting started, transferring in, or returning for another great year, in each episode, we'll take a closer look at different aspects of student life, from housing and wellness to involvement in spiritual life, joined by special guests from across campus.
So whether you're tuning in from home, on the road, or already walking in the quad, this is your space to get informed, get connected, and get inspired. Welcome to this session of Inside the Web Student Life Unpacked. Today, we are excited to have our Director of Counseling Services, Kim Retherford, on our episode. So Kim, thank you for joining us today. And so why don't we start a little bit by you giving us just a brief overview of what counseling services is at Gardner-Webb and what you all provide for our students.
We are on the third floor of Tucker, and we provide a lot of things this semester for our students. We have, of course, individual sessions and a few different groups that students can go to. We also offer single session appointments. So if somebody doesn't want on long-term ongoing therapy, they just have something that they want to work through maybe once or twice, they can call and request a single session appointment, or they're more than welcome to continue seeing a counselor for the entire time that they're at Gardner-Webb, if that's what feels helpful. This semester we have a few groups. We have a art expressions group that meets on Wednesdays. We have a D&D therapy group that meets twice on Fridays. We have a group that's called The Strength of Our Shade, and it is a self-esteem building group for our African-American students, and that is every Wednesday evening. We have a book club that meets on Wednesdays. Our staff picks books that are really focused on sort of inspirational or uplifting topics. Right now they're reading a Brene Brown book, so they go through a chapter or so every week, and then they just have a discussion about that chapter. We do also have substance abuse counseling resources in our center. One of our counselors, Bogdan, has open hours every Tuesday afternoon between 3 and 5. So if somebody is a little concerned maybe about substance use, not sure they're on the right track, not sure if they need help, they can absolutely just go on up and ask to talk to him on Tuesday afternoons. And that is something that they can explore together, and the student can get whatever needs met that they need.
Mm-hmm.
Kim, the student experience is definitely individualized per person. And we understand too that life continues to happen at home as well as happening here at Gardner-Webb. What are some of the issues that students can come and talk with somebody about?
Literally everything. Honestly, sometimes students may have had amazing home lives, but they are far away from their primary support people, and they just really need that little bit of extra support and someone to talk to about their day, about their roommate, about their classes. Sometimes people have some really serious things that happen either before they got to school or here on campus that we need to work through just maybe a little bit more intensely, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
Kim, what would you say to that student that is maybe afraid of mental health and talking with someone about problems in life because maybe over the years there's been this negative stigma centered around mental health? I definitely think that it's starting to decrease and there's more of a positive spin around mental health. But what would you say to that student that maybe has never experienced a counselor or speaking with somebody about life?
I have heard a lot of people say, I didn't know what to expect, or I didn't know what we were going to do. And we're really just people, and we just talk about what's going on. And I think you are right that some of that stigma is starting to decrease. And what I hear a lot is, counseling is great. Therapy is great for people that need it, but I don't need it. And I would challenge that, because I think mental health is that is sort of that grounding for everything else that we do. And it absolutely affects our physical health. A lot of times in sessions, we will talk about, like, when something happens, well, what did you notice in your body? Where did you feel that? In your stomach, in your shoulders, in, wherever. What did that feel like physically? Because it's one body. We are all, we all need good mental health as much as we need good physical health.
So, Kim, you mentioned a lot of different groups that you all are doing and services, which is fantastic. Are these things that are free to students? And how do our students find out about these things?
They are completely free to every student. On the website, when you click on the Counseling Services tab, there is a link on the right side of the page that just says request an appointment. So you can click that and it will send an email directly to me. You can call the counseling center. You can pop upstairs and just ask to schedule an appointment just right there. If somebody needs to meet with a counselor immediately, they can absolutely come upstairs and say, I need to meet with someone right now, and we will meet with you. So.
Kim, I don't think we choose when crisis happens. And sometimes it may happen at not great times, but that's the way it works. So what kind of resources are available? Are they only 8 to 5, or are there resources available for middle of the night?
We have an online after hours on-call person 24/7, 7 days a week. That number is, again, under the counseling tab on the website, and it is also on the back of their student ID cards.
Well, Kim, what is something that is special to you in working with our students here at Gardner-Webb?
So Gardner-Webb is my first opportunity to be in higher education. So I have just loved the community of Gardner-Webb. But I think another thing that I've really discovered that I think is fun and I think is a really great way to be able to serve students is that we are, because the services are paid for through their tuition, we are not constricted by maybe what an insurance company would pay for. So we get to really just pick and choose. We can do the book clubs. We can do, we had our Southern Smash for Eating Disorder Awareness Week. We can do all of those things and find lots of different ways to connect with students. And that is really something that we are trying to think a lot about. Other than just the individual counseling sessions, what are some different ways that we can meet the needs of students beyond counseling?
Kim, when students are away from Gardner-Webb, are there resources that you can help provide them with when maybe they're at home, or it's summer break or spring break or fall break? Are there resources that you can help connect them with? How can continued care happen over breaks?
Yeah. So for somebody who is already meeting with a counselor, that is one thing that all of the clinicians at the counseling center will do, is that little bit of planning for when they're not able to see us individually. For somebody who is in the state of North Carolina, so even if it's break, if you live locally, you live in North Carolina, you can still meet with people virtually if you need to. Otherwise, they do some planning with students, just kind of coming up with ways that they can, whether it's just maintaining their own self-care and mental health, or if they need to do some counseling in whatever state they are, that is something that the counselors will work with them to plan.
And Kim, there's different aspects of mental health. If somebody's struggling with something or an area that's maybe outside an expertise of someone within our office, are there people or places that we can connect them with for continued care that may be outside of a specialization that we have?
Absolutely. Ethically, counselors do not practice beyond their scope. So if somebody comes in and they share something that nobody in our office is trained to work with, because nobody gets to be trained in everything, then they will work with that client to find an appropriate referral, whether it's something maybe that has to be online or it's something that they can do locally.
Well, Kim, thank you so much for being with us today. And more importantly, thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for the work that your staff does to support our students' well-being. As you said, that's the grounding piece for all of us. So, and thank you all for joining us on today's episode of Inside the Web, Student Life Unpacked. Hope to see you next time.